Today, we're gonna go ahead and give Godzilla, King of the Monsters, a grade. But before we do that, I want to see what movie breakdowns is. A movie review series where we give movies old and new a grade A through F, plus and minuses do count. In the review you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below and I get to as best I can. Also Patreon/Zakka for $2 a month. You get a cut in front of everybody else. Get your review out way before it comes out on Facebook and YouTube. Now, let's go ahead and get on today's episode of 2019's Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Now, what is this movie about? This movie is about a terrorist organization that wants to rule the monsters to pretty much stop humanity, because humanity is killing the planet. So they want to bring back the monsters to pretty much kind of wipe the humans out and reset the planet and save the planet, while you have Monarch, who is trying to study the monsters and trying to, see where's a way we can not control them, but make sure that we can live cohesively with these monsters. And you have two opposing sides of fighting each other. While doing that, the terrorist group brings back King Ghidorah, who is a space alien dragon, and he tries to pretty much conquer the planet, and Godzilla has to take down King Ghidorah. And that is the gist of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. Thoughts? This is a movie. It is definitely a movie. I did enjoy it. I did do that. The CGI was at certain times not the best, especially for King Ghidorah. He looked more like, I don't know, like really goofy at certain times, the way his CGI was. But Godzilla looked good. Mothra looked good. Rodan is a punk who just, hop ship with whoever he wants. He's like, oh, this is the new king, I'll bow to this king. Oh, that's the new king, I'll bow to this king. Like, dude's a punk in all the sense. Like, he didn't really have the cojones to stick to his fight. He was like, oh, King Ghidorah came and kicked Godzilla's butt the first time, I ride it with King Ghidorah. Oh, then Godzilla rolls back around, kick King Ghidorah's butt, I'm rolling with Godzilla now. Like, bro, who are you? But besides that, like, the other thing I really enjoy about this movie is the storyline. I think the storyline actually had me more compelled to sit and listen to. Like, you have Vera Farmiga's character and Kyle Chandler's character. Kyle Chandler's Dr. Russell, Mark Russell, and Vera Farmiga is Emma Russell. They're divorce, I believe. His ex-wife, they went through divorce or separated, one or two. They lost their kid in the first Godzilla movie, and while Mark is trying to find a way to like get revenge and kill the monsters, make sure they don't come back and exist and do what they're doing, Vera Farmiga's character Emma is kind of like wants to use the monsters to pretty much clean out humanity and make sure reset the world in natural balance. But they're all trying to do this for the kids' sake. And you have Millie Bobby Brown's character, Maddie Russell, who gets brought in the middle of all this. And she's kind of like the neutral point where at one point she was with her mom for most of the movie. And then towards the end of the movie, she kind of sided with her dad. It's like, we gotta stop King Ghidorah because he's gonna destroy humanity. But I like their whole dynamic of like, we lost our son because of an event in the first movie, and therefore one person has one ideology on how to resolve the issue, another person has another ideology on how to resolve the issue, and that they should pretty much save humanity, but at the same time go two drastic ways. While Mark comes more in the middle, like, you know what, we can coexist with these guys. Godzilla's not a bad guy. He's actually been saving our butts every single time. And Vera Farmiga's character, who just like, burn, everybody, burn. And really, she doesn't really flip to the other side until the end of the movie when she realized her kid, Maddie, was in danger. She's going to lose her kid as well. And she was like, you know what? Maybe we shouldn't try to force the monsters, the Titans, to destroy the whole planet and everything like that. I'm not sure they're called Titans. What's the name of them? I can't think of the name of the monsters. But at the end of the movie, she still kind of get her wish, because Godzilla, yeah, he controls all the monsters at the end of the movie, but she kind of like goes off and let the other Titans or monsters, or I can't think of the name of it, it's not Titans, but the other monsters just roam around the planet. So like they all came back and got revived like she wanted them to, but they're just there and not causing problems because Godzilla's just like saying, hey, we're not causing problems, we're just going to live, exist, and vitalize the planet in certain spots where humans are not at. So she got her wish. he got his wish, or Mark got his wish with like coexisting and that monster's not all bad. So I guess at the end of the day, they both got what they wanted. And then the terrorist organization that Vera Farmiga was teaming with just kind of go back into hiding. They go back into hiding after they got their wish as well. So apparently everybody wins in this movie except for Ghidorah, who was trying to conquer the planet. And how he was going to do that, he was going to get all the Titans to just destroy humanity and reimagine Earth in his own image. And that is pretty much the gist of that. And at the end of the day, I guess the writing wise, storyline wise, yes, it was a more compelling and intriguing story that I was invested in. There really wasn't any consequences at the end of the movie. Like, and you're like, yeah, the cities got destroyed, people would die, but like as far as, you know, the main characters, nobody got reprimanded or in trouble for it. And maybe it's going to show up in King Kong versus Godzilla, but in this movie, at the end of the day, it was just like Godzilla brings all the monsters together. They all looked at him, they all bow to him. He roars, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. The movie just cuts. Just cuts like that. Which is also kind of annoying. I don't like how the movie just ends like that, but whatever. I guess old Godzilla movies did that. I haven't watched one since I was 10 years old, so I can go back and watch a 1990s, 80s, 70s, 60s Godzilla movie and see how their movies end. But it's 2019. We can write endings better than this. Anyway, another thing that I like, the music. They actually did use the classic 1960s, 70s, 80s, old school, vintage Godzilla music. They actually used that. They did like a modern version of it, but you can hear the beats of it. And somebody who loves a little nostalgia, that reminded me of my childhood, and I was like, good job. Good for you for doing that. Like, I love it. I love hearing the classic Godzilla movie played in the movie. So good job there. And the acting was actually solid in this movie. I didn't mind the acting. Now, this is some of the I only saw nitpicks, there's things that bother me. The dialogue in this movie, they was trying to force comedy so much. I get the first Godzilla movie wasn't really a comedy movie. It was more serious. It was more of a thriller, more dramatic movie. So it wasn't that much comedy in there. Matter of fact, I can't think of a scene where I really like laughed or chuckled. And this one, they really try to force a comedy. There's a scene where Ken Watanabe like go down to Godzilla's home where he's recharging at, and either Ken Watanabe or Kyle Chandler, one of them say, "Oh my God." And then this guy, Bradley Whitford, who plays Rick Stanton, goes, "Zilla." Why? Why throw the forced comedy in there? There's another scene where the monarch is in a trial, and somebody's like, "Great, so you want to make a pet out of Godzilla?" And somebody goes, "No, we'll be his pet." Okay, so we're not hitting it with these quotes right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find some more, because there is a bunch of this in this movie where I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me with this one. "Long live the king," that gets brought up a lot, which is kind of, I actually like that. Oh, here's another one. So Ken Watanabe and Kyle Chandler are having a very deep and conversation about life, and a conversation about like forgiveness and stuff like that. So this is the line. I'm about to read it straight for straight here. I found it. "There are some things beyond our understanding, Mark. We must accept them and learn from them, because these moments of crisis are also potential moments of faith, a time when we either come together or fall apart. Nature always has a way of balancing itself. The only question is, what part will we play?" Mark Russell goes, "Did you just make that up?" Ken Watanabe replies, "No, I read it on a fortune cookie once." And then he goes, "A really long fortune cookie." Why? Why do we need the comedy? That is unnecessary to this movie. There's no need to put comedy in this movie. And you have characters who, especially the Monarch team, who were trying to be the comic relief characters. You have one dude who pure purpose was be the comedic character. that thing one of the Monarch people mentioned, like his name is King Ghidorah, and the dude goes Godera, and another guy's like, I thought she said gonorrhea. I forced comedy will irk my soul every time, and maybe that slapstick comedy worked with somebody else, but I didn't come to watch Godzilla for a comedy movie. I came to watch it for what it is. And if you're going to hit the comedy character, you got to make sure in these kind of movies where it's serious like this, it's a more darker tone where people are dying and you have destruction and monsters fighting each other. You have to make sure that comedy works and it doesn't seem forced. Like, oh, this is too serious a movie, we need to force some comedy. No, it has to be smooth and fluid into what you're trying to say. Like, yes, maybe you have somebody who use comedy as a way, as a coping mechanism. People do that. People use laughter as a coping mechanism. Okay, you have that character, but like make it sounds natural to what's going on, destructions and terror going on, and you have somebody who's trying to make everybody laugh. That's one thing, but when you do something like, oh my God, Zilla, why? Who wrote this? The writing, it's irksome. It is irksome. But the storyline aspect of it, I like it. The writing wasn't the greatest. CGI is not the best, but I get it. It's Monsters 2019, but we had Avengers, and Avengers made it work. So Avengers 2012, 2019, like, come on now. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. We can do better. All right, let's go ahead and get into cast details and all that good stuff. So Godzilla, King of the Monsters came out 2019. It's PG-13 and it's 2 hours and 12 minutes. The director is Michael Dougherty, and the writers are Michael Dougherty, Zach Shields, and Matt Borenstein. You have a budget of this movie being $170 million, and it grossed worldwide $387 million. So it got its money back. It definitely won in the box office. Like, people love Godzilla. What more do you want? The cast, you have Kyle Chandler, who played Mark Russell. He was the dad who was like, we gotta destroy these monsters kind of dude, the strong, tough nose, I don't play in games kind of character. You have Vera Farmiga, who played Emma Russell. She had a little more layers to her. And Vera Farmiga, who, she's from the Conjuring series, a really good actress. I thought she did a good job in this movie as far as her acting wise, and so did Kyle. I thought they both did a good job for the acting wise with the role portrayed to this movie, and there are even moments where they try to get deep with their characters, and I appreciate them for doing that. Emma Russell, she just pretty much, you thought she was on the good guy's side, then she ended up being the bad guy and kind of one of the head guys of the terrorist organization. She was working with them, and she can revive back these monsters. That's what she was doing. She was reviving back the monsters in this movie, and she's going to do one monster at a time, but end up doing multiple monsters. I thought she was good. I thought she was good what she did. Millie Bobby Brown, who played Madison Russell, thought she did a good job. Ken Watanabe, who played Dr. Shirazara, great work from him as well. Bradley Whitford, he as Rick Stanton, he was cool. His acting was cool. His dialogue wasn't the best that they gave him. Thomas Middletich, Sam Coleman, he was another comedic character. He was okay. Charles Dance, who played Alan Jonah. So, Game of Thrones. I noticed these guys' other movies, especially around this time, Game of Thrones was huge. You got to get a Game of Thrones actor in your movie. You got to get one in your movie. You got to get Peter Dinklage. You got to get Sophie Turner. You got to get Charles Dance. You got to get Kit Harington. You got to get somebody from Game of Thrones in your movie. They're the big guy. They're the big actor. This is their moment. You got to get them. You got to go get them. I can't think of the little Stark girl. I can't think of her name right now, but she's not a little person in real life. But what's her name? Anyway, she'll come as well, and also Targaryen, Daenerys. Like, you got them all. You got them all here, and they all in different movies. Well, yeah, go get Charles Dance, who plays. He's one of the. Oh, he's not a Targaryen. No, Daenerys is a Targaryen. He's not her. the Lions, the House of the Lions. I can't think of their name right now. Oh, the villains, and their names are all escaping me right now. All their faces there, and their names are all escaping me. I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I should be really sad about that. Peter Dinklage's father, and I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, he's in the movie, and for the most part, he's kind of like the second-hand man. He's not as threatening. It's not as his character's not as threatening. It's not as that force he has in Game of Thrones. He's playing the same character in a sense. He's still a leader character. He's still like, he doesn't really yell. He still comes at you and talks to you in a certain way. He's just there. Like, they got a Game of Thrones character in the movie, and they said, hey, we got a Game of Thrones actor, we're going to use him, and he is there. He's not really, his force is not, it's not that heavy. Yes, he's got Vera Farmiga doing stuff, but for the most part, like, at the impact of the movie of him, if you take him out the movie and throw somebody else in that same spot, the movie's gonna flow. Like, heck, Vera Farmiga could be just the villain and leave it at that, but then have a change of heart. And it makes sense when she does have that change of heart in this movie. She's like, I'm gonna save my kid. He's like, go take care of your kid. Don't expect you to come back to this. We're not gonna let you stop your kid, like, stop saving your kid. Once again, he's the villain, yet he having a heart. So, to me, Charles Dance's character is kind of wasted, but he was there, and maybe he'd be in the next one, but he was there. And last but not least, O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, who plays Warren Officer Barnes, he was there. And for a moment, I was like, is that O'Shea Jackson? And sure enough, it was O'Shea Jackson, and O'Shea Jackson was in this movie, and just, I don't know, just a little nugget there for you. All right, any other thoughts? The CGI is not that good. The music was okay. The music's solid. The music's solid. The movie's not okay. Music's actually solid in this movie. CGI was, in certain spots, wasn't that good, especially for King Ghidorah. It just looked off. But Godzilla still looked good. Martha looked good. It was cool seeing Martha in the movie. Rodan was there. Like, other than that, like, that was it. The writing for dialogue, I should say, is not that great, but the storyline was, it had premise. All right. It is a Friday night movie. Sure, you can watch with friends and family. I think it'd be a nice, like, just throw on flick in the background, have a background movie night, and grading time. I'm going to grade Godzilla King of the Monsters. I'm going to give this movie a C-, a 70%, because one, it was entertaining. It did its job as far as that. It is a movie. That's what it did. It's not going to outstand you. You probably won't remember much of this movie when you walk away, but it did its job. The CGI is hit or miss in certain scenes. The writing is, as far as dialogue goes, it's not that great. It's forced comedy, but the storyline is solid. The storyline between the Russells family is definitely something that intrigues you and gets you more into the movie. At the end of the day, it's a Godzilla movie. Get monsters versus monsters. You're going to get what you want to see, and you're going to get more Godzilla in this movie as well. So good job to that. So yeah, I'm going to movie a C-, Godzilla King of the Monsters. That is a 70%. IMDb gives this movie a 6.0 out of 10. That is a D-. Rotten Tomatoes give this movie a 42% out of 100%. So that's an F from the critics. But the audience gives it an 83%, and that is a B-. So the audience are more like, hey, this movie wasn't that bad. The movie, the critics was like, yeah, it's not that good of a movie. I'm in the middle. I'm giving it a C-, a 70%. If you guys seen Godzilla King of the Monsters, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.